Today we're doing something different from a little bit different of a perspective. We are going to make a flash brew or iced coffee with some cold foam today. So I got this new scale from Mastery House, and I have some of the September coffee by Kyle Roselle that I'm going to be brewing up today. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 26 grams of coffee. And I'm going to be kind of talking and reviewing some of the gear as I use it and my thoughts on it. So I just got this scale from Mastery House, and we're going to use another Mastery House product in order to make the cold foam. So right here I have the DF83, and it is currently on setting 67 for this coffee, and this is going to be kind of on the finer side of the pour over or filter version of it, and I'll explain why in just a moment. As you can see, the DF83 is a little loud in my opinion in comparison to some of my other grinders, but overall the grinder itself is great and I enjoy it a lot. I don't personally wet my filters for this. You can, it's kind of up to personal preference, but you're also going to need 220 grams of ice. I have it in my Fellow carafe here, and then I'm also using the Fellow, what is it called? I keep wanting to say it's the Fellow Stag, but I know that's not right because that's the name of the kettle. But anyway, I'm using the Fellow pour over system here, the smaller version of it, and I'm kind of blanking on the name, but I'll link it on the description below. Now, this is the original DF83. There's a version 2 now, which will help with static, but honestly, I don't think static is terrible, and I don't RDT, so I don't know if I'll do that upgrade or not. And this scale is still new to me, so still trying to figure out exactly how to use it based off of. Why is that not working? There we go. So it's got a built-in timer and does 0.10 grams. Still trying to use it. It's thrown off me a little bit from the Acaia Pearl scale that I have. And down below I can't fit my kettle on my countertop, so I have the Stag EKG Plus. And what we're going to do is we're going to do about 30 grams of coffee, or 30 grams of water here for this bloom. And you're going to want to pour as slowly as possible here. And then we're doing, because this is a flash brew, we're doing a little bit differently here. And we are going to go up to 45 seconds of a bloom versus the standard 30. And we're going to aim to get 220 grams in of water. So 26 grams of coffee, 220 grams of water set to 202 Fahrenheit is what I have it at. And we have about 220 grams of ice, and that's going to dilute the coffee as it comes in, kind of making it a good ratio when it comes out for a nice iced coffee. So if you're not making cold brew, you don't have to wait that entire time for it. This kettle has held up well. It's got the maple wooden accents, and it's been a joy to use. Mine is the Bluetooth Stag EKG Plus that came out a long time ago, and I won that in a contest. Since then, they've added the Stag EKG Pro, which that one I believe has Bluetooth as well. And the Bluetooth has honestly been a great feature, and I like having it to be able to just kind of turn my kettle on from kind of anywhere in the house in order to have that heat up a little bit there. Alright, now that we have that brewing, we're going to just kind of wait for that to finish, but overall I like this scale and the look of it. The design is a lot different than normal. It has kind of a metal top. Works well so far, so I'm excited to just kind of give this a whirl. I have a lot of scales now, and I'm hoping to make a video down the road comparing all these and kind of giving you an idea, but I think this one comes in at 40 or 50 bucks, which is a pretty good value for money in my opinion. Moving on from that, we're going to use this Mastery House milk frother that I believe comes in around 89, and we are going to make our cold foam with it. So I got some whole milk here, and I'm just 100% going to eyeball it. This is kind of what I do in the morning. I'm trying to figure out cold foam a little bit more. I've enjoyed having it when I go travel, and if I have like a Starbucks or something around, I usually get a cold foam drink there. So I'm going to do a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar, which you'll see how precise I am on my daily life. I just eyeball that. So you're going to put some powdered sugar over some whole milk, and you're going to do like 1/4 cup of whole milk, and you're going to just basically cover, there's a minimum line on the inside. And you are going to pour some vanilla extract in there. And then there's a couple different attachments for this milk frother, and that is, we are taking off this little disc right here. I'm not sure what that is, and we're leaving it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and it's magnetic, so it just sticks in there well. I'm going to put that right on there, and I have it set to the medium thing, the medium amount of foam, and I have it set to cold foam, so that, in other words, this is not going to heat it up. And again, I just got this, both of these, Mastery House sent me these in exchange for a review and some videos. I don't think this is one of them, but I'm just kind of trying them out today, and this is kind of the life of what I'm doing on today. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this YouTube channel. I know that editing would be beneficial in a lot of ways, but frankly, time is just constraint, and it's been a lot in this journey. So I'm trying to figure out I just want to try to figure out a different way of making videos where it's more fun and more enjoyable for my sake. But overall, it's been a blast, and I've had a lot of opportunities to meet new people in it and experience a lot of different things as a result of it. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the journey. I'm thankful for all of you. If you want to continue to support me as a YouTuber, and you're just watching this video for the first time and never seen my content, if you could please like and subscribe, that helps me more than you know. So I have the Fellow Carafe here, and I do want to note that I've had this Fellow Carafe for a few years now, so it's not new by any means, but it's kind of chipping away at the smoke finish on it. But anyway, it still gets the job done, and it's a nice carafe. And I'm filling this iced coffee into the Fellow tasting glass here, with leaving some room on top. And typically I would like more ice in this, but my ice machine ran out of ice this morning, and that's a normal reality of it. I think it would be this drink would be a little bit better with actual cold brew, because the taste of cold brew and iced coffee are just a little differently. But this was a quick flash brew if you don't prepare cold brew, which usually takes a while to sit on there. So we're just going to simply wait until this Mastery House thing gets done, and this is the second time I've used this, so I'm curious. It's nice and quiet until that microwave beep goes off, but you simply just pull off the lid, and this thing is magnetic on the inside, so I'm just going to take that off and put it somewhere and make a mess everywhere. And I have some nice foamy cold foam. And there we have it, a nice alternative to a $5 drink at Starbucks with some nice cold foam on it right there. And now I've attempted cold foam a couple times, and it's been good, but I always feel like I've been missing the mark. And I feel like this powdered sugar thing kind of helped. I Googled it a little bit more prior to the Mastery House, which I think did a great job of making foam on my first initial impression. Prior to that, I just recently picked up the Sub-Minimal Nano Foamer to kind of give that a shot, and that worked out well. But honestly, this little button to hit it makes it pretty nice on this, and we're looking at $90 for this, and it'll heat it up and foam it and give you good cold foam, versus I have the lithium nano foamer, which I believe is $67. So we're looking at about $20 difference between both of these items here. And honestly, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you want to heat something up, obviously the Mastery House does a little bit better job of that, because it can automatically do it, and it's more hands-off approach, versus the nano foamer. You're going to have to heat milk up in the microwave for about a minute and a half or so to give it that texture, or to give it the heat that you want. But you can do microfoam enough for a latte art with the nano foamer. I'm not sure that you can on the Mastery House, but I'm just going to guess that you can't, and we'll kind of see from there on where we're at. But yeah, there you have it. Some nice foamy texture. It does separate pretty quickly, but I would say this is like the foam that you want for cold foam versus like a cappuccino. Like, it does what you would expect it to. And honestly, after trying it, I'm really happy with the results. If you have any questions on this recipe, again, it was 26 grams of coffee at a finer filter range. You want it to drip a little slower, and you're going to bloom it for 45 seconds with about 30 grams of water. And then you're going to do a slow pour throughout the rest for 220 grams of water going in. And that's going to be dripped over 220 grams of ice to kind of dilute it and make it cold. And there you have it. And then I used a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar, a fourth a cup of milk, and a splash of vanilla. And we have a cold foam. Thanks so much for watching.